G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to MagzTV, and welcome back to DCS World for the first DCS video of 2022 on this channel, but also the first direct edited for YouTube video that I've done on MagzTV for this year. Running a little bit behind at the moment, obviously. I took January off, and we've been a little bit slow getting February underway, but it is what it is. So anyways, we are flying out in the Huey today, as you can see, and we are flying in VR, of course. Although we do have a couple of external shots taken from the replay track in DCS, at least for as long as the replay track decided to work. Actually, we had a little bit of luck here. The flight in and the entire engagement actually survived intact without any issues. The replay track actually broke as I was heading out for the fence out of the island, and just has my Huey fly off out into the ocean and crash. So thankfully we got all the important parts down on this one, but yeah, what can you do? The replay track on DCS World is, well, it is also what it is. It's been broken since the beginning of DCS. It's had no effort put into actually trying to repair it in all this time, and doesn't appear to have any kind of priority in any time, despite being the single worst replay system of any flight simulator currently available on the market. But, well, there you go. So, we are in the Huey. What are we doing? Well, we're in the Marianas. Actually, I believe this is actually the first DCS video where I've shown the Marianas Islands. Beautiful map. Not a lot of land, a lot of water, but it's fine. It's, for a free map, there is no problems with it whatsoever, or at least none that I've really noticed. I've been told that some people have been having a little bit in the way of poor performance on the map, but nothing major here I have noticed. Plays pretty smooth, even in VR. So, what are we doing? Well, this is a custom mission. For this particular mission, the Marianas are not actually playing as the Marianas. They are going to be a bunch of islands somewhere off Cuba. And we're going to leave it at that. Just a nondescript bunch of islands off Cuba, because we have an island, a smaller island that's actually just to the south of us here at the moment, where a drug lord has set up his operations and is currently sending off submarines into the United States, moving huge batches of extremely fun white powder. I should point out that I designed this mission to be some period between the late 80s and early 90s. It's not exactly, it doesn't really have a selected and defined date, but somewhere in that particular period. So of course you're not actually playing as a military. We are an undefined three-letter agency out of the United States, and we're going to do the kind of thing that was rumoured to happen fairly regularly during this particular period and these kind of situations, and most certainly showed up in a lot of action movies of the period as well. We're going to fly in and blow the entire island to shit and kill everybody on it, because that is what you do with 4 Huey gunships heading in. And not just 4 Huey gunships, there are actually a flight of Tiger IIs that are operating in the area that will be designated specific targets. But more on that in a moment. Our armaments for this particular mission are a pair of M134 miniguns mounted to the M21 flexible sighting system controlled by the co-pilot. These bad boys will put 4,800 rounds of 7.62mm downrange every 60 seconds, but that's not quite enough. So in the left and right hand door positions we have Bill and Bob, each manning an M60D, adding another 560 rounds per minute roughly each per gun, and letting us get some of that broadside action in on the targets when our nose is pointed away. Now you're probably wondering why I didn't mount miniguns in the doors as well. Well, this is because we're also carrying Hydras. 2 M261 pods to be exact, each carrying 19 2.75-inch M151 high-explosive unguided rockets. And with 38 rockets in the tubes total, we would struggle to get off the ground, let alone manoeuvring combat, without the engine going thermonuclear with the weight of the second pair of miniguns. So we have the M60s. And the truth of the matter is, even in this configuration, we are a little fat, so we're going to want to lose some weight fairly quickly. So we just hit the fence-in point, turning off the external lights and arming the weapon systems. Now I'm selecting the rockets first. I'm going to do the first pass, and then I'm going to let the co-pilot take over while I'm flying and maneuvering, so I can get first strike on the island's defences and anything else that I can find before I have to concentrate on maneuvering to not get shot down. The armaments on this island... Alright, so we've got a couple of targets here. First things first, there is a Type 7 U-boat. Now this doesn't sound particularly dangerous until you consider that it's got a Flak 37 on the back end of it, and it is controlled by DCS AI. I'll show you a clip at exactly what that 37 is capable of at the end of the mission. One of these attempts at this mission ended very, very quickly. The second is, well, the entire island is covered with infantry units, obviously armed with AK-47s, because what else would you arm them with? So we've got a lot of 7.62 small arms down there, and we have a couple of quad 50 cal mounts, 4 of them in total across the island. Alright, so that is our warning mission about the Wasted Seaman. The Wasted Seaman is the name of the Type 7 U-boat, which is standing in for our 1980s drug-running submarine, diesel-powered drug-running submarine, which is actually kind of appropriate for the period. Imagine that they got it off Argentina at some point. Anyways, it's leaving the dock and currently heading its way out. Now, it is one of the primary targets for the Tiger IIs that will be operating in the area. Originally, it was one of the key targets for this mission for the helicopters. Unfortunately, it'll take over 100 Hydras, even with the heat rounds. They're immune to HE, so you've got to take heat, and it takes over 100 heat rounds to be able to actually destroy one. Unless you set up triggers to make it just explode after you hit it once or twice, which is kind of cheaty. So instead, we've got a couple of Tiger IIs coming through, so they'll add a nice bit of ambience to the area. Otherwise, the Tiger IIs are specifically targeting the large buildings that are in there, the warehouses that are supposed to be packed full of all kinds of fun stuff coming from Cuba. So we're going to be heading up the coast here a little bit. The island we're engaging is just off the left. You can see it past the gun sight there. And we're bringing it around because the first pass we want to make on it is directly up the docks into the warehouses. So I'm just moving down and past, and then we're going to swing in. Now, on the ETA on the Tiger II should be roughly 2 minutes from now. So we'll have first strike and have to clear out the initial AAA. Or at least get the initial AAA's attention. Now, the Tiger IIs first are going to go after the Type 7, which should be off in the distance there. It'll get taken out first, and then they will turn on the island. They've only got 2 specific targets on the island, as I said before. It's 2 major warehouses, because they can't be destroyed without bombs, which we're not carrying. And that's our warning that the enemy has gone active on the island, so the second we pull into range, we're in trouble. So, initiate the attack for the rest of the flight. They'll turn and get ready for their attack paths, and we'll make the first run down. Just checking all the temperature gauges there. While the Huey's fat, I've got to keep an eye on everything. If I push it too hard, the engine will explode. So, the sooner we can get these rockets off and into some targets, the better. And here comes the first of that return fire. So mix of 50 cal and 7.62 coming up from the island. Time to go evasive. Already taken some hits to the left-hand side, but no damage and no deaths on board. Just some busted glass, so we are all good at this point. Probably a few dings in the paint job and the panel work as well, but nothing to be concerned about yet. Radio callouts from 3 and 4 there, beginning their rocket and attack runs on the island. So I'm just keeping a low, wide circle here at the moment. Hit the left-hand side door gunner working. Just putting shots into infantry around the south section of the island, and also trying to keep the attention of all the air defences on this side of the island, so that the rest of the squadron can make its attack runs and get clean exits from the island without getting shot down. We haven't actually been shot at for a little bit here, so I'm turning the helo back around, and we are going in on one of the southernmost anti-aircraft positions. That was the last of the rockets. So, rolling off, just presenting the belly, the least vulnerable section of the aircraft, so if it takes a few hits, it doesn't really matter. just setting everything up for the co-pilot to take over the minigun, so I don't have to worry about the shooting, and we take a bit of a hit there. We got really lucky. That shot came over our right-hand shoulder, actually went through the open door on the right-hand side of the helo, went right past the right-hand gunner's face, and then blew the window out in front of me without hitting my player character. So we got really lucky there. If that round had actually hit my player model in the pilot seat, that would have killed it, and that would have been the end of this mission. Pilot dead. Now you also would have noted the sound there before. The Tiger IIs are in the area. They're doing their recon passes to the island now to set up the targets. Now when the AI gunner's shooting like this, I don't designate targets for him. He selects the targets himself. It's my job to present him with a line of fire to be able to hit the targets in the first place. So I do the run, and I fly out. Now I can take over the guns at any time, and I almost do here in a second, because I wanted to do a gun run down the front of the factories. I didn't end up taking control though, due to, well, him deciding he wanted to shoot the same area I wanted to shoot anyway, so I might as well let him do it, and I can concentrate on flying. Bit of an explosion in the background there. The Tiger IIs have started hitting their targets as well. So yeah, this is me just folding down, getting ready to take over the guns if necessary. Boom. Looks like that was something flammable. And speaking of the Tiger IIs, there goes one of them there. This map is really pretty. And this is exactly the mission that I wanted to make on it. I've been wanting to make on this for a very long time. This is as close as we've got at the moment to a Vietnam or a Korean map. So I absolutely wanted to do something with this with the Huey, and this is working out really nicely. So I'm going to do a couple more missions like this, I'm sure. Looks like somebody still had some rockets left. And at this point, I think that is it. We have cleared all the targets on the island. So, time to fold everything back up and get the hell out of here. So this looks like a deceptively easy mission, but as I said, the actual loadout for this mission is 50 infantry units in 5 groups of 10 set across the island armed with AK-47. So that's your small infantry group with light ground fire. There are 4 turrets from the World War II assets pack, the American quad 50 cal anti-aircraft turrets, based in 4 positions around the island, 2 to the north, 2 to the south. One is actually in amongst all where the warehouses are as the primary target area. One sits a little further north than that, and there is one on the left and right hand side of the island in the southern section. So 16 50 cals, 50 AK-47s, as well as the armaments on the U-boat that are there basically to persuade you not to rush too quickly in on the island. If you get in there too quickly, well, as I said, I will show you in a second exactly how badly that can go wrong. But first, we got to get this bird home and put her back on the ground. Now there is a 6-knot southeasterly as well, so what I'm doing here for the landing, and most Huey pilots will be familiar with this one, or actually helo pilots in general, I'm just doing a low cycle, just circling around the area I want to land, dropping altitude, keeping it under control, so I spiral in on the spot that I actually want to come to. It's much better than just trying to drop in, it's how you avoid VRS. Anyways, 2022 on the channel. Still not 100% on exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'd like to thank everybody for letting me have the January off without too much of a thing. I really did need it. It was great to spend some time with the family, and great to be able to spend some personal time working on projects outside of the channel. Some of that you've actually already seen. The Magswear store and the t-shirt designs I've been doing. The P40 and the P51 are the two that are completed at the moment. The P38 is due to go up hopefully this weekend, and the P47 will be following soon after. And then I'm going to jump into some other nations, things like the MiG-3, maybe a Hurricane, and so on. The designs are really nice. I'm really happy with how they've turned out. Everybody I've spoken to seems to really like them. This is essentially my sponsor for the channel for 2022. I am sponsoring myself. I'm doing graphic design work as a private business outside of YouTube, and I'm sponsoring the channel by selling my own stuff on it. I think that's the most ethical way to do things. It's a hell of a lot better than Raid Shadow Legends. So, if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out the Magswear store. Their links are in the description down below. And yeah, I think you'll like what you see. It hasn't got anything like MagzTV or anything on it. They're not branded up like YouTuber merch. It's just really nice designs for aircraft that are going to be showing up in another store as well soon enough that isn't quite ready yet. But anyways, that is a touchdown, and I did show you what will happen when things go wrong with that U-boat. So, let's jump over to that now. Right, so this particular mission attempt was still when we were attempting to destroy the U-boat ourselves. So I believe I'm armed with 2 6-pack pods of Hydras with heat warheads. Now, we're low, we're fast, so we're under 100 feet, we're close to 100 knots. We've just passed the warning point for the wasted seaman, the name of the U-boat. It's beginning to make its move out from the docks. The only major difference here is at this point, the U-boat was actually a lot closer. It was only about 250 meters off the edge of the island, really only about 50 meters off the end of the dock that you saw on that island. And you can see the black slip in the distance there? That's the island. Now, when I measured this out, the first shot comes in, we're at about 2,700 feet. And that is the shot fired from the U-boat without direct line of sight. So it's still got the warehouses in the way, it's still got the trees, it's still got the rest of the island. There's the first shot, so we're at 2,700 feet at the moment from the island without direct line of sight on an anti-aircraft gun that fires through iron sights from World War II. And there's the kill shot. 2,550 feet roughly, straight through the rotor hub, blew out the hydraulics and the control systems for the rotor. Total loss of flight control, and dead stick straight into the water, killing all on board. So, yeah, this is why the Tiger IIs are in there to deal with that U-boat, and why I pushed the U-boat a little bit further out now. It now exists solely for the purpose of preventing anybody who wants to try this mission once I actually make it available from just rushing the island, because it will ruin your day really quickly. Also, I think they should take a look at that. The accuracy might be realistic, or at least possible, but the situational awareness on that U-boat is something else. But anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. As I said earlier on, please check the Magswear store down below if you're interested in grabbing stuff to help support the channel in 2022. It'll be much appreciated. Also, as I said, it's not branded up as YouTuber merch, just aircraft merch, so this is, gear for aircraft enthusiasts in general. And I'll be updating the store hopefully every single week. Otherwise, remember to click that like button if you did. That would help a lot too with the algorithm. Share it and subscribe if you would like to see more. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this video and exactly what you would like to see on MagzTV over 2022. And until next time, guys, take care.